Hi everyone, welcome back to your favorite inconsistent series, Debate 'Em All. It's me, your host, HoodlumCallum, bringing you another installment of said series. What we do here over on Debate 'Em All, for those that don't know, is we basically talk about Pokemon. That's it. You send me an opinion you have about Pokemon, and the ones that I think are maybe the most unique, or the ones I want to talk about the most, are what I include in this video. I just voice if I agree or disagree. We debate, I guess. Nothing too crazy. So if you're enjoying the series thus far, drop a like on it. I appreciate you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my new installment. My new feature at the beginning of these videos, really quickly. I've decided to show off my favorite comment from the last video. I don't know if this is something I'm going to do every episode of Debate 'Em All, but I really like this comment. So even if you believe something is overblown or people exaggerate issues with anything really, not just Pokemon, that doesn't make it invalid. Criticism is a necessary thing. All I hope is that everyone respects one another, don't put each other down because of differences in what you expect out of Pokemon. I don't understand how someone can insult or even threaten others over Pokemon. There will be people that don't care about the changes Pokemon go through, and there will be others that aren't. That doesn't mean one is an entitled loser or one is a brainless shill. To Gamefreak, be good to each other. That was a good comment. Thank you for your comment. That was a really, really good positive comment to read. And I agree with it wholeheartedly. If you guys are all against Sword and Shield, but you still watch me, that's fine. I'm not like angry at you for not wanting to buy Sword and Shield. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all Pokemon fans. That's something that should be celebrated. Without further ado though, let's jump in to the question number one. Hot take number one. Alright, most YouTubers don't actually care about the product they're sponsored by. They just promote anything they can for money. Hashtag debate 'em all. Thank you, the Heated Mo, for that hot take. I'm gonna have to disagree with the most part. I won't deny there'll most likely be some out there, but I think most of the time you'll be able to tell when YouTubers don't care about their sponsor. I think what it comes down to is just getting a quality sponsor, such as Raid Shadow Legend, which just so happens to be sponsoring this episode of Debate 'Em All. Cheers, guys. If you haven't heard already, Raid Shadow Legend is a free mobile RPG with a dope storyline, amazing 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. It's like medieval Pokemon. Seriously, the graphics are really impressive. I never would have expected this level of performance from a mobile game. Check out the details on these champions. The game is growing super fast, and the new highly anticipated update is now live. And there is a new awesome rewards program for new players. Get a new daily login reward for the first 90 days in-game. Personally, I think the game is amazing, but you don't have to just take my word for it. With more than 200,000 reviews, Raid almost has a perfect score on the Play Store. My favorite champion is Gallic, because his hair reminds me of Scrafty. What I love about this game is that it is genuinely somewhat similar to Pokemon in the sense that there is something for everybody. Some love collecting characters, some love storyline and graphics, some just love combating against other players, and me personally, I just love grindy games, which brings me to my favorite feature, the auto feature. It allows me to grind on Raid while doing other things. That way, I can feel productive while playing. You can find me in-game under the username PantsLizard. If you are quick enough, you can also join my clan. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, check out the special link that will get you 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Good luck, and thank you once again, Raid, for sponsoring this video. I think that the Ben Affleck leak was posted by Gamefreak. It is a genius marketing idea, and it takes advantage of a very active community. The only typo in the entire leak is on Scorbunny's type. Sounds like they are trying to get us to start a conversation. They have been making games for 20 plus years. They know what they're doing. This is a really interesting, this is something that I think I have considered myself, but I've never really outright said it. What if Game Freak are leaking their own information just because it's like, I don't know if I want to give them that much credit, because that does sound like some big brain stuff, but we already know that Game Freak and Pokemon are quite a few years behind on just everything. If this was a tactic that game companies started taking on, then Game Freak would start doing it 5 years late. But then also, I don't know, because I mean, it would be really smart for them to do that, to be honest, but then I don't know, is it smart? What do you guys think? That's something that's really stumped me. Would Game Freak, would they leak their own information just I mean, it was really kind of just, because I mean, I know there are actual, like, leakers, but, like, I don't know, that is a really interesting take, and I actually am kind of, I don't know what to say about it, because I can see where you're coming from, I definitely can, but I feel like, I feel like they're a Japanese company, right? I feel like they wouldn't do that. They don't need to do something like that to get people talking and to sell games, to be honest, but I mean, I guess it certainly helps. I really don't know. Cynthia is the most difficult champion. I mean, I guess, to be honest, when it comes to Pokemon, everything is like subjective. Like, I guess, for example, if I was playing through a game where my entire team was rock and ground types and I was taking on Wallace as the champion, he would be the most difficult champion for me. So I guess, in a sense, yeah, it's subjective, but I think Cynthia does have the most powerful team a champion has ever had. Garchomp, Gastrodon, Togekiss, Lucario, Roserade, Spiritomb. That is a nuts. I actually just knew that off the top of my head. Wow, that's crazy. That is a nuts lineup. That is such good type coverage and everything. So yeah, I think it is kind of like a no-brainer. Yeah, Cynthia is the most difficult champion. Maybe she's the best well-rounded, because, I mean, Blue had a Pidgeot. Outside of a very few details, Unova as a region is the least representative of what it's based off of. You wouldn't really get the feeling of that it's a Pokemon version of New York, like you do with Alola being the Pokemon version of Hawaii, or Kalos with France. Castelia City, the subway, and Bravery are good symbols of New York and America, but otherwise, I feel like it isn't much in comparison to all the other regions. I 100% agree. I'm pretty sure Unova was the first region to not be based off Japan, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Sinnoh, Hoenn, Johto, and Kanto, they're all based off Japan and stuff, I think. I could be wrong. Pretty sure though. So yeah, I definitely, I mean, I guess it was their first stab at a region outside of Japan. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I definitely think I agree with that one, because, like, there's been many times where I've been mentioning, you know, we've been talking about, to people that aren't super hardcore Pokemon fans, or they're just casuals, talking to, like, my friends that play Pokemon Go, I'll just casually mention, oh yeah, Unova, it's based off of New York, or it's based off of America, you know, and they're just like, really? I genuinely didn't know that. I've played the games, I didn't get that from Unova. I mean, I guess there's ice cream, there's garbage. I mean, there's a few more things that represent Unova, I guess, but yeah, I mean, I didn't really feel like I was in America when I played that game, but maybe it's just because I've never actually been to New York. I've only been to LA and Florida and Boston. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I really would like to see more regions based off of different parts of America. I mean, I get Hawaii. Hawaii's part of America, right? I don't know geography. I'm just so happy Sword and Shield's based in the UK. Let's go. Gamefreak isn't running out of ideas. This is something I definitely agree with, and there's actually I guess a take later on that kind of dives into this a bit more, but I do want to say here, Gamefreak, or Pokemon, or whatever you want to say, they are a company that wants to last as long as they physically possibly can. They've been going for 20 odd years now. They're 1 year older than me. I'm 22 years old, Pokemon's 23 years old. They want to keep going. They want to last for another 20 years. And the way they do things, even, yeah, people like someone commented in my last video, like, Pokemon is 5 years behind all these other JRPGs or whatever. But, like, you can't really compare them to Pokemon. Pokemon is its own unique vessel. Pokemon is its own unique thing. Pokemon is really, it's in its own, I guess, it's on its own level. Like, I don't know, Pokemon is its own monster, and I think Game Freak aren't running out of ideas. I think they're just implementing all their ideas incredibly slowly, and it's the smartest thing to do to make your series last as long as you possibly can. And I don't think they're bad for doing it. I think they're just being a smart business. I want to see Pokemon last for another 10-20 years, even longer if I could. So yeah, I don't think they're running out of ideas. I think they're just milking everything slowly, and that's okay. Gen 5 isn't underrated. People should start using that term properly. Gen 5 was hated, but now everyone loves it, so therefore it's not underrated. Gen 6 is a true gen that is underrated. It's not just hated, it's only looked at by what it isn't, what it isn't instead of what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's easier for people to look at the negatives than it is for them to look at the positives, and Gen 6 has a lot that it could have done. Like, Gen 6 did leave a lot to be desired, but Gen 6, well, like you said, they did add a lot of good stuff. Like, Gen 6 literally transitioned the franchise from 2D to 3D, and I think they did a phenomenal job of it. Obviously, looking back at it now, you're just like, ooh, those games are not pretty. I don't mind the Gen 6 engine, but maybe on Citra, not on a 3DS. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, did everybody hate Gen 5, or was it just the vocal minority? Because what people will say is like, oh yeah, all the same people that used to hate Gen 5 love Gen 5 now. But is that actually true? Do we have proof of somebody being like, oh yeah, I switched up, I used to hate Gen 5, now it's my favorite? Like, I genuinely just think Gen 5 just got the vocal minority talking bad about it, but now that Gen 5 is no longer the new thing to talk bad about, it's just all the people that love it are now coming out the woodworks, like, you know, speaking up against the haters, even though the haters aren't even there anymore. I don't know, was Gen 5 hated by everybody? I don't think the same people that hated it now love it. I don't think that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. There's no such thing as hand-holding in Pokemon games. The entire first island of Sun and Moon was basically a tutorial. And I just remembered, there's literally a Pokemon move called Hold Hands. So technically, there is such a thing as hand-holding in Pokemon games. Because there's a move called Hold Hands. And yeah, the first island of Sun and Moon was a tutorial. Man, that was rough. 25% of Sun and Moon was a tutorial. And here is that comment I was talking about. Pokemon has made its success on small improvements, and if you expect more than that, you don't know Pokemon as well as you say you do. Sorry if this one's a little negative. Yeah, I think that's pretty much that. Pokemon are known for just adding and removing small bits and pieces. Like, this is, like, for Sword and Shield, I guess it's the straw that broke the camel's back. Just the fact that they removed the national dex, like, that's a pretty big change. And yeah, people's criticisms towards Pokemon and Game Freak, they're all valid, and you can keep being critical, but I want people to try and, I guess, think about this from this point of view of, like, they're a business and they want to make their game last. I think that's the biggest, like, factor for me, like, I guess, being okay with everything that's happening. I'm just like, they just want to make their game last, and I totally understand that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Debate 'Em All. I hope you did enjoy. Feel free to leave some comments. I might take some comments from this video and use them in the next video if you have any hot takes for that, or if you just want to leave a nice comment for me to feature as my favorite comment of the episode, then that's a thing too. Yeah, trying to do this as a weekly series again, so hop on the comment section for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Raid, for sponsoring this video. Peace.